chat on the air. So it's good to have you, Nat from the UK. So thank you for joining us. We had a little bit of technical issues tonight. Literally, my internet's been down since about 1:30 a.m. my time. So we're on the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. We're on Pacific Daylight Time. So it is 4 o'clock. Well, we're at 4:20 right now. And we are going to go over to Facebook and go live at 4:30. So we'll do that here. But welcome, Nat from the UK. It's good to have you. We will say hi to anybody else that pops on here. So I wanted to just give you guys a quick run through here. So let me change cameras here on my desktop. Overhead cam. There we go. So what I have here is obviously my Logi keyboard, but this is my streaming ATEM tonight. This is an extreme ISO. This is the one that I replaced. It's working great and passed all my tests. And I did a 2.5 hour recording on it. So it seems to be fine, even though I noticed last week my recording had stopped. And then this one, I am sending the program to you can see it's on the air. So this one's on the air and recording, and this one's on the air because this is streaming to my streaming bridge. So in another part of my house, actually where I originally started streaming from, which is in our bedroom, I have my Atem Mini Pro. Notice it's not here on my desk. Usually it sits right here, and it is not here. I do have my light meter we're going to talk about a little bit later tonight. Got my bag glasses. We'll set those out of the way. So this is sitting the program out to channel 1. And you can't quite see it, but channel 1 is lit up right here. And I have the microphone on, and the program out of this is literally streaming to my streaming bridge. So if I go up here to the control software, you can see I am streaming to my streaming bridge. So we'll just turn that back off because I do have it streaming. So let's go me and overhead cam. So this is streaming to my streaming bridge in the other room, which is plugged into my Atem Mini Pro, and this is streaming to YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the program from this into channel 1 on this. This one is streaming to my streaming bridge. So we're using 1, 2, and in the other room, 3 ATEMs. Now I can't show you that one because that one's only going to be able to be seen when I get in there, and I'm going to take my remote phone so you guys can see the setup in there. But my streaming bridge is in the other room. I have a monitor in the other room. It is hooked up to my network. It is ready to go live on Facebook. And so hopefully it's going to work and go live on Facebook. The link is now in the description, so you guys will be able to go with me. So we're streaming from Stream Deck 1 to YouTube, which is what you guys are seeing right now if you're watching me on YouTube. And then we are streaming that program out to the YouTube, but it's also being fed into my Extreme ISO number 2. I'm not ISO recording on this one, but I could turn ISO recording on this. I do not have a disc plugged in, but you can see I have a disc right here plugged in, and this is what normally plugs into my Atem Mini Pro. And so my network port is sitting here, and the HDMI cable is sitting here. So I'm able to stream from this one to my streaming bridge, and then in that room, I have that Atem Mini receiving the HDMI signal from the streaming bridge. I also have my Canon 5D Mark III in there, so you guys will be able to see a camera image of me and not just what's programmed from this room. So I am going to leave the main screen up and go in there here momentarily if everything goes live correctly. Move this microphone back over here. Switch back over so you guys can hear me through the SM7B. So again, 2 ATEMs in here and 1 ATEM in the other room. Now, why am I doing this? Because I've never streamed from my studio or this house on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. But I thought it would be really cool to send the signal from this studio into the other part of the house, have a camera in there, and do a separate little set and stream to Facebook. And so anybody that's here is not going to hear that. I guess I could take my microphone with me, but it would just confuse everybody. But we're going to go to that room here in just a few seconds. So good to Mark and his company, PETA, for getting this up and running for me at 1 minute to 4 o'clock so that I could go live. I have my DJI mic kit set up in there. And so the microphone is sitting there. It's all hooked up and ready to go. I didn't want it in here, so you guys would be hearing that on Facebook once it went live. So I'm gonna leave this microphone, go in there, and pick up a microphone and talk to you on Facebook. And then I'm gonna end that Facebook stream after a few minutes. And we talk and show that bedroom studio, which is where I originally live streamed from years ago. So it should be lots and lots of fun. We don't have a ton of people here tonight, but that's perfectly fine. It is time to try to go live right now on Facebook. So let me go up here and let me go into my Atem control software, switch over, connections, Atem Mini Pro. And let's try to go on the air. It says it's streaming. Go on my Facebook page. Yep, it says I'm streaming. I don't know if it's live on Facebook yet. So been a long time since I did that. So let's see, is there a place here to say go live? Yep. And I'm going to hit go live now. And it's actually getting this feed. So it looks like they're going to be able to continue to see this feed. But I'm not going to be in here. So keep that in mind. And then I will pop on the screen, full screen over in there. So let's hit go live. So now I'm streaming in 2 locations. So I'm going to mute this mic, get up. So go over and see me on Facebook, okay? So here we go. Check, check. Well, that is loud. Let's see if we can turn this down. I am live on Facebook. Got my coffee here. See if we can put this microphone on. So welcome to my live stream. So if I was to just switch cameras back, and then I can be down in the corner. So this is the scene from my other studio, though no one's in there. And I'm in the bottom corner, and with the Atem Mini Pro, I can move myself around the screen, but I can't make myself any bigger than that. So we'll turn that off, and I'll transition back over here. So the goal tonight was to show you guys a quick look at this little setup. I'm using a streaming bridge, which I updated today. And so before I put this up, let me just double check and make sure that we actually are live on Facebook. Yep, I am live on Facebook. Check, check, check. Testing. So there should be audio. It should be okay. Yep, it's working. So the goal is to show you guys, and let me just see here, how do I get into the chat on Facebook? Yes, I'm here. So the other room is just blank. They can't see me on YouTube right now because I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. So we are streaming live from my studio, as well as live from here. And I have the chat on my phone. You can see me. So I'm live on Facebook. So it's nice that that worked. So let's muddy the waters here some more. Let's go to camera 3 here. And again, this is the shot from the studio. Here's me in the bottom right-hand side. Let's go ahead and fire up my camera app here, Filmic Legacy, and then I'll take you guys here around the studio that I'm in right now. So let's go camera 3. So there is my Canon EOS R. Canon 5D Mark III. Right there. My light is the window. It's pretty bright. So here is my little desk. It's flashing because of the refresh rate, so I apologize for that. That's crazy. I can't change the refresh rate right now. I have my DJI mic receiver plugged in right there. There it is. Lots of sun right now. There's the Atem Mini Pro. Right down there is the streaming bridge. And you can see it has an HDMI cable coming out of the top. And that is plugged into my network. And I have my Atem plugged into my network. And then I have 3 inputs. So input number 1 is my Canon camera. Input number 2 is from the other studio. That's coming in on the streaming bridge. And input number 3 is the phone you're seeing right now. And so I have a monitor to see preview, the multi-view. So there's the studio right there. There is the camera I'm showing you guys right there. And then you can see my Canon 5D Mark III right here. You see the audio coming in, program, and my mic that I have, that seems a little low, so hopefully you guys can hear me fine. And it's not doubled. So let me know in the chat if it's doubled right now. So let's see, I want to go back to this image. So let me just double check in the chat on Facebook. So let me know, David, Nathaniel, if it's working correctly. So, and then here's what the Facebook chat looks like. So there I am chatting away. So on Facebook chat, let me know if the audio of my microphone is good. Yep, David says it's fine. Sounds great. Awesome. So we'll cut back to this. So I thought this would be a great set for me to use. So it took about 20 minutes to set it up. Again, I can't stream this back into the other room. I'd have to have another streaming bridge, split out or take my HDMI out. Actually, I'd have to go probably, I don't know how I'd do that. I'd have to probably go through a laptop and use my webcam out of my Atem, go into OBS, and then project back to another streaming bridge back in the studio. So I either have to choose to send this signal right here into this room, or I would have to choose to send this signal right here into the other room, because I only have one streaming bridge right now. So the cool thing about the streaming bridge is that you're able to stream to another location. Now, if you want to open up your firewall and set up port forwarding on your network in your home, you could then port forward to another location. So let's say I wanted to sit in here and go directly to one of our event centers. Like right now, we are leasing a facility in Benton City on Sunday evenings and Wednesdays. In fact, there's a couple guys over there working right now. I'll be there tomorrow. We hung some speakers in this leased facility, so we don't have to set them up every Sunday night. And one of my buddies also has a facility that he's working with in Newport, Washington. We were there on Sunday. I drove up there and I did some sound tech training. In fact, he wants me to go up once a month on a Sunday. We leave at like 5:30 in the morning. We go up there and we come back at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I work with his sound tech. Right now we're trying to make sure that that is a plan. I don't know if I can do that once a month, but that's the hope. I'm training sound techs on Sunday night because I don't want to do live sound. I want to train some guys to do live sound. So I'm trying to multiply myself right now. In fact, one of my guys I'm training just printed out a whole manual for an old Presonus 2442 board that we're using that was donated. It's about 15 years old, but it's working really well. We use it on Sunday night. They also donated some in-ear units, Avion 16.2s. So I think we have we have a setup to do 8 of those Avion in-ears, and we have like 4 more as backups, and then a couple of the older Avion 16 version 1s. So quite interesting. So I wanted to show you guys that you could have 2 studios in your house. I've done this before. I went into the garage and streamed from the garage back to my studio, but we've never gone live on Facebook and on my regular channel. So we are live right now on Facebook and we are live on YouTube, even though all YouTube is seeing is just a blank screen right now. So if someone's just tuning in on YouTube, I feel really bad. Maybe my audio is still going because I muted this microphone right here so they can't hear me. So anyway, so we're back in my original studio. My original studio was set up a little different. Let me get back into the remote camera. This is what you used to see. This was not the monitor, but this was my set. My camera was right about here, and it shot right down this wall. This was where I originally had my desk. I'll stand up here real quick. So my desk was in this corner. Let's go super wide. So my desk that I have in the other room sat right here in this corner, and I had it pulled away from the wall. Right back here, I had a softbox. Right now, you can see I have my little light right there, and it is switched on. I have the clock and then the bookshelf. So this is one of my chairs that was in my studio before I made it a studio. It was a man cave. I had 3 of these chairs. 2 of them were lift chairs I sold that looked identical to this. This one only reclines, and it has a footrest. And so here's the setup. Got my camera, got my monitor, got my DJI mic receiver right there. It's plugged into channel 1 right there. Then I have 3 inputs on my Atem Mini, and it is streaming right now to Facebook. So I was sitting right there, and here's the backyard. So my fountain's right over there, and right out my back window of my house right there. So that's just a little behind the scenes look in the studio. And again, this is the shot from the other room, and I'm in the corner now on Facebook. So looking into the camera, I do not have a confidence monitor on top of the camera, so it's hard to remember to look right into the lens. Usually I have a monitor on top of my camera to do that. So I wanted to show how you could live stream from Facebook and YouTube at the same time. You could do it all from the same room, just looping from my Atem Extreme 1 into my Extreme 2. Then that one would broadcast to my streaming bridge. My streaming bridge would then be plugged into my Atem Mini Pro. And then I could set a disc in Atem Mini Pro and record the program. And I also could stream from my Atem Mini Pro to Facebook. But you do need one device in between because you need a device that can stream to the streaming bridge. Now, I could also do it just by coming out of my Atem number 1 into my Atem number 2 and then stream to Facebook on number 2. So technically, if my internet's strong enough, I could stream to 3 locations. I could stream to YouTube on Atem number 1, Facebook on Atem Extreme number 2, and then my Atem Mini Pro, I could pick another location like LinkedIn or someplace like that and stream. So pretty fun to be able to play around with things like this. So we are going to say goodnight on Facebook. So you guys can get ready to pop it back over to the other page. Gonna make a note here on Facebook. I'm going back to my main studio and we'll end this stream and go back to my YouTube. Okay, that text is in there, so we are going to end this. And so when I hit stop streaming, it should automatically stop streaming. And I'm going to take my mic off, turn it off, and head back into the other studio. But again, this is how you can take 3 ATEMs if you want to go to another room. And then obviously if you wanted to stay in stream to Facebook and YouTube in the main studio, then I could just do that from my 2 extremes. Remember, I have my other extreme that wasn't working right. I'm going to try to get it working, and I may use that for some of our remote events. We'll see how that goes. But that's it for Facebook Live. This is the first time I have been live on Facebook on this Life Journey Productions channel. So at least I think it's the first time I've ever been live here. And we are just showing how I can send a live image that looks like this from my main studio, come into another room of the house using my streaming bridge, and then actually go live on Facebook from the other room. And again, this is the original room that I was live streaming from when I learned how to live stream, and I've talked about that a lot on my channel. Started with the Cam Link, and this camera that I'm using right now, this is my original camera that I live streamed in the very beginning, the Canon 5D Mark III. It will time out here shortly, so before it times out, I need to shut down Facebook, but I will be back on YouTube right now. So this picture that you're seeing here live with me on the bottom right-hand corner is going to have me in it here in just a moment. So thank you guys for tuning in on Facebook. Now pop back over to YouTube, and I will join you guys there. If you haven't been to my YouTube channel, I will put a link in the chat right here below so you guys can come back over to YouTube and join me and subscribe on YouTube. So I'm Keith. This is Life Journey Productions, Old Bedroom Studio. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook, and we'll see you again on Facebook very soon because I have a plan. Well, there you go. Hopefully, if you are on live on this channel and you didn't pop over to Facebook, you didn't fall asleep because there was nothing happening in this studio. I was in Studio B, my old bedroom, and I went live from there. Let me hook this up. And let's go over to Facebook. Okay, it ended on Facebook. So I think we're good, but let me put the YouTube video link over there real quick before we leave here and talk about something else. Just want to pop this into Facebook. So there is a link over on Facebook now popping up. And so that was just a test. I do want to start streaming on Facebook with the YouTube channel at the same time. So I hope you guys will join me for that, maybe on Facebook, maybe on YouTube, but I appreciate you guys being with me tonight. Let's see if anybody else jumped on. Chat on the air. David says, let's push the boundaries. Yeah, I sure did. Gris says he is indeed on vacation. That's awesome. David said he couldn't see me yet. He is on Facebook now. Yeah. So I was only on Facebook. Gio followed that. Again, I could have kept everything in here. I could have used my Extreme number 2 instead of streaming to my streaming bridge. Good to have you here, Tony. Yeah, you can catch it. We didn't even know if we were going to go live, Tony, but we did go live. I got internet at 1 minute till 4. So I decided to go live. We actually went live on Facebook. I did go live, and some of the guys here were able to jump on and see me streaming live to Facebook from my Atem Mini Pro from my streaming bridge. So I literally came from this studio and broadcast to my streaming bridge in my old bedroom studio, and it was quite fun. So one of these nights we will shoot from both places, and I'll have the streaming bridge in this studio going from that studio into here like I've done before. So that was really cool. So again, that's what we did tonight. 2 Atem Minis in here. One of them live to YouTube. The other one streaming to my streaming bridge in the other room. My Atem Mini Pro in the other room was broadcasting to Facebook. So it was a lot of fun. So we were literally live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. You saw it here. If you were live with me, you got to see it over on Facebook that I literally used 3 ATEMs. One was streaming to YouTube. One was streaming to the other room to a streaming bridge. That streaming bridge was bringing the program into the Atem Mini Pro. I had a Canon 5D Mark III in the other room, including my iPhone to show you the old studio on Facebook. And the Atem Mini Pro was live on Facebook tonight. Well, you guys have a good night. I'm glad we were able to go live. It is still recording, which is a good thing. So, and we are still streaming. So the new Atem Extreme ISO is working out great. The used one that I bought. And if you want to know more about that, that's in last week's video, because I did have to replace my original Atem Extreme ISO. It was dying. And so it is now in a box in the garage on a shelf. And I found one on Marketplace for $500. So with freight, to me, it was $540, and that is a huge savings. Being right now, if you buy a new Atem Mini Extreme ISO, you got to pay $14.95 plus tax if you're in a tax state and shipping. So I am very thankful that someone, 4 hours before I looked, the day I decided I was going to look for one, a guy in Boise, Idaho, put his up for sale and then was willing to ship it to me. So thank the good Lord, it worked great. And it arrived because I prepaid him on Venmo. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a good night with me. I'll see you guys very soon here on the channel live.